Hello, Year 2. Welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. So, we are going to warm up our mathematical brains. I would like you to colour the odd numbers in red and the even numbers in green. And when you've done this, I'd like you to think about, have you noticed a pattern? Now, whilst you're doing this, I am going to do this too. So pop me on pause and I will see you when you've done the task. Okay, welcome back. So your 100 square should look a little bit like this. All of the odd numbers have been coloured in red and all of the even numbers have been coloured in green. Now, I wonder, what patterns did you notice? Tell somebody at home and pop me on pause. Okay, well done. So the patterns you might have noticed could be the odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Let's have a look. So got odd numbers ending in 1, odd numbers ending in 3, ending in 5, 7, and 9. Now we've got to remember here, so for example, 49, it's just the second digit here, our ones digit. We've got our tens digit and our ones digit. And our ones are all ending in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 for the odd numbers. Now let's look at the even numbers. The even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So let's see, we've got them ending in 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. Now, with our T numbers, we need to remember that the 0 doesn't stand for nothing. So this isn't number 4, this is 40. The 0 here is just holding that place value to show you that there are 0 ones, but we do have 4 tens. So just remember that. Really well done for completing that task. So next up, we're going to go straight in with the anchor task, because today your learning intention is I can recognise odd and even numbers. So looking at this task, I'd like you to spot the mistakes. We've got an odd section here and an even section here. Using the patterns we have just discovered, spot the mistakes. Which items, which numbers or words do you think don't quite belong in the odd or even section? If you've done that and you'd like an extension, please add 3 of your own ideas into the boxes below. Off you go and put me on pause whilst you're doing this. Well done for completing that. So let's go through it together. So we've got our pattern here. Odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So spotting the mistakes. Let's look at the odd numbers first. So I'm just going to get a pen up. So let's have a look. Number 9, this is odd. I know that odd numbers can end in 9, or it can just be number 9 on its own. So I'm going to give that a tick. That is an odd number. 50. Oh, 50. We've got a 50p coin here, 50 pence. And that is a 5 and a 0. It's a T number. Now I know that even numbers end in 0. So I'm actually going to put a cross. That one does not belong in the odd number section. It has got a 5, which you might think could be part of an odd number, but let's remember that represents the tens, 5 tens in 50, and it's the first digit. So we're actually just looking at the second digit. So that is an even number in the odd section. Number one is certainly an odd number. So is number 3. We've also got 1, 2, 3 beads here. That is an odd number, so that one is okay. And we've got a piece of numicon. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, I'm happy with number 5. Number 5 is definitely an odd number. And we've got a number 6 here. Number 6 is certainly an even number. So I'm going to put a cross there. So if you got in the odd section, the 50p coin and number 6 as the mistakes, well done you. So next up, let's look at the evens. So I've got a piece of Numicon here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is definitely an even number. We've got number 10 here. It's ending in a 0, so it's certainly an even number. We've got 1 lot of 10, 2 lots of 10, 3 lots of 10, 10, 20, 30 here. 30 is definitely an even number. It's a T number ending in a 0. It's got 3 tens, and number 3 is an odd number, but that is our tens digit, so it doesn't matter. We're just looking at the ones digit, and our ones digit has a 0, so it's definitely an even number. Okay, we've got some beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. 6 is definitely an even number. And we've got number 8. 8 is an even number. Oh, we've got number 25 here. Now it's got a 2. That represents our 2 tens because there are two tens in 20, and 2 is an even number. But we're concentrating on number 5, and number 5 is certainly an odd number. We're looking at the ones digit, so I'm going to put a cross there. That is definitely an odd number. So if you got number 25 as the mistake, well done you. Okay, great work, everybody. Let's move on to the next part. So we've noticed this pattern. An odd number ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. An even number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. But what exactly is an even number? And what exactly is an odd number? We've noticed the patterns, but we need a definition to work with. So let's find out. What are even numbers? Even numbers are numbers which can be laid out in pairs. You can count up in twos and the numbers will always be even because you are always adding another pair. Even numbers can also be shared equally between two. They can be halved with no remainders or anything left over. So you can see down here, we've got some examples. We've got 2, 4, 6, and 8. And it's just like adding another pair. So we see here, linking to our division, we've got 4 lots of 2, 4 pairs, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And if we split them, so if you look from here down to number 4, if we split it in half, there will never be anything left over. So what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are different. They are never in the 2 times table. They might be in other times tables though. They cannot be halved. They can't be shared equally between 2. There is always going to be an odd one left over, hence the name. So if we split, well, we can't split 3 into 2 because we would have 2 and a 1. So there's always going to be 1 left over. It is not fair, it's not even, it is odd. So let's put this into practice with our pole to pole theme. Let's see if we can divide 8, our even number 8, by 2. We've got the 2 penguins here. So we're going to divide it. We've got 1 here, and 1 here. Our even numbers being shared between 2. There we go. So our even number is equally shared between 2. It's divisible by 2. We are able to do 8 divided by 2, and that equals 1, 2, 3, 4 in one group, 1, 2, 3, 4 in another group. And that is fair. There are no odd numbers here at all because we've got 4 in each group and that is equal. It is the same. Let's try dividing this odd number. We're trying to divide 5 by 2, split it in half. One here, one here, one here, one here. Oh, I've got one left over here. See, I've got one lot of 2, another lot of 2. These so far are even, they're equal, they are fair. But we have still got one fish left over. So number 5, being an odd number, cannot be divided by 2. It is not even. It's an odd fish, the odd fish out. So even if I put this fish into this group here, we can see we have 3 fish and 2 fish in this group, so it's not even. So we can see that we cannot do this. I'm going to put a cross here because it's an odd number. So over to you. Use counters to make each number in the little green cloud and share them into 2 equal groups. How does this help you decide whether a number is odd or even? Show this in the table. And after you've done this, can you see any patterns? So pop me on pause whilst you're completing this task. Okay, really well done for doing that. I really hope you're enjoying your learning. So looking at this, so we've noticed this pattern. An odd number ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, and an even number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So this is the answer here. We've got our odd numbers and our even numbers. Well done you if you got some or all of those correct. Okay, moving on to our challenge now. So Miss Pickett says that when she adds two odd numbers together, her total will be even. Is she correct? I'd like you to convince me. What else can you find out? We would like you to prove the answer with 5 examples. Well done everyone for such a fantastic lesson. We're really looking forward to seeing everything you send in to us by the Year 2 email address. Take care and I'll see you in the next video.